Let's take a look at some of the awesome new manga coming out in December of 2023. This is it, y'all, the final manga buyer's guide for 2023, and there are some cool things coming out. Luckily, this month is not quite as busy as November was, but still some really great new releases are coming that I'm really happy to talk about. Now, as always, I like to point out that I don't talk about every single new release in these videos. I just talk about what I call notable new releases, mostly focusing on new volume 1s or new single volume releases. I throw in some final volumes, box sets, special editions, that kind of stuff in there as well, but mostly because these videos are meant to help people to find new series that they may have otherwise missed, because there are so many new manga that come out every single month. The other thing I want to point out is that these release dates are according to the publishers and the retailers, but they might move around. Some things might come out early, some things might be available later, they might get delayed. It is what it is. It's been that way forever. And finally, if you happen to be on Twitter, or X as they like to call it sometimes now, and you happen to pick up any of these books on this video because I mentioned it, something that you wouldn't have otherwise picked up, please go ahead and tag me. You can follow me over there at OmniCollector. Tag me, tag the publisher, and show a picture of the book when you get it. It does go a long way. It helps me out, and the publishers like to know that I'm talking about their books, and stuff like this happens where I'm able to get preview copies. These are all from Yen Press, so that I can read them earlier and let y'all know some thoughts about them before I make the videos. Anyway, let's get on into it. Here's some of the stuff that comes out on the 5th of December, the first week of the month. So first off is one that I'm really excited about, and that is Gotanabe's adaptation of H.P. Lovecraft's The Shadow over Innsmouth. I love horror manga. I love horror in general, and if you do as well and you haven't read any of the Gotanabe Lovecraft adaptations, I highly recommend checking them out. This is the third Lovecraft adaptation that they've put out over at Dark Horse. The first one was a short story collection. I think it was the Hound and Other Tales, and then they did the Mountains of Madness, was in 2 volumes, and now we have this one. Shadow over Innsmouth is going to be a 450-page all-in-one omnibus edition with 12 full-color pages. So this is adapting a existing Lovecraft story, so expect some cosmic horror and some great grotesque monsters, and I can tell you that Gotanabe does a great job of adapting those monsters visually. The story itself is about an abandoned coastal settlement in Innsmouth, Massachusetts, and the secret truths lying deep beneath its waters. So I'm very excited about that one. Next up is another big one, this one from Kodansha, Fairy Tale Omnibus Volume 1. Classic, well, it's like modern classic, it's from the 2000s, but the modern classic shonen action adventure fantasy series from Hiro Mashima is getting another new release format in the 3-in-1 omnibus editions. Now this one is my preferred format, it's my preferred like trim size and stuff like that, and I've mentioned in the past that I would pick up Fairy Tale again because I dropped it after like 18 volumes when it was originally being released. But I've mentioned in the past that if it got a 3-in-1 omnibus like this, the oversized trim, that I would pick it up again. And so that means that I am picking up Fairy Tale once again after years of having not read it. So this has the first 3 volumes, of course. And not only will it be collecting the entirety of the original Fairy Tale series, but Kodansha has mentioned that these omnibus will also collect the currently running sequel series, The 100 Years Quest. So now we've got the single volumes, the box sets, and these, and there were, I think, 5 master editions released, which were the like really big ones with 5 volumes each, kind of like the colossal editions of Attack on Titan. But anyway, moving onward, we got one from Viz Media's Shoujo Beat line, and that is Neighborhood Story, coming from Ayazawa, the creator of Nana and Paradise Kiss. So if you're a fan of either or both of those, you're definitely going to want to check this one out. This one follows Mikako, who has dreams of being a fashion designer, so she starts a club with her friend and crush Tsutomu and other friends to design clothes under the label Happy Berry to be sold at a local flea market. This is the first of either 4 or 5 volumes. I think 4 volumes. It should be a 4-volume set, so not a huge commitment. And these, I haven't seen them in person, but I've seen pictures of the first volume online, and they're absolutely beautifully put together. So there is reason why it's a $25 book. Not only is it really well put together, but also it's like 300 something pages, so it is much thicker than your average volume. Then from 7Cs, we have a few to wrap up the first week. Tomo-chan is a girl omnibus volume 1, collecting the first 3 volumes of this series. This has been released in single volumes by 7Cs previously, but they're re-releasing it, at least with this first omnibus. I haven't heard if they're doing the whole series in omnibus editions. I believe it's only 8 volumes total, by the way, so if they did more, it would be like 2 2-in-1 volumes, so it's not going to be very, like, even, I guess. Or no, I guess it would be 2 3-in-1s plus a 2-in-1. I'm dumb, sorry. Don't listen to me. Follows Tomo and Jun, who have been best friends since childhood, but now that they're in high school, Tomo wants to be more than friends. Unfortunately for her, Jun just sees her as one of the guys. So now Tomo has to prove to Jun that though she may be a tomboy, that she is also a woman. I've never watched the anime adaptation or read the manga, but I understand there's a lot of fans for this one. So some of y'all who may have watched the anime and have not yet picked up the manga, this will be a good one for you to pick up. I will say that it is not available on Crunchyroll store. I believe it is on Amazon, though, if you want to grab this one. Next up, we have Les Miserables Volume 4. This is the 4th and final omnibus edition of this adaptation of Victor Hugo's classic novel. The adaptation is done by the creator of the Cirque du Freak manga, or the adapter of the Cirque du Freak manga. So if you've read and enjoyed that one, or you're a fan of this story, the original Les Miserables, then you might want to pick this one up. I will say that it is very shonen. That is not to say that it's like action, you know, battle shonen type stuff, but there's a lot of aspects of this where you can tell, like, okay, this is adapted by a shonen manga creator in a shonen magazine. It just feels that way. But it's enjoyable. It's a really easy read, so if you just want to read Les Miserables in some format, it's not as, like, corny, for lack of a better word, as a lot of those like illustrated classics volumes that other publishers will put out. Anyway, next up is We Started a Threesome. This is from the creator of Futari Ecchi, which was called Manga Sutra when it was briefly published by Tokyopop in English. They only got like 4 volumes out before they had to discontinue it because bookstores would not carry it due to the content, and so they were not making profit at all on the book, so they had to discontinue it. The series follows childhood friends Leah, Suisei, and Emito, who as adults become a married throuple, and follows all the challenges that they face in life. And finally, for the first week, we have My Dog is a Death God. This one sounds extremely emotional. I don't know if I'm gonna pick this one up because I'll probably cry too much reading it, but a death god takes the form of a dog to help patients at a hospice ease into the next life, as well as helping them to let go of any regrets they might be holding onto. Has art from Ritsu Aozaki of the Dragon Knight's Beloved. So yeah, that one sounds really heavy. It could possibly be really cute, but it's something that I imagine I'm gonna be like, it's raining on my face while I'm reading this one, you know. Second week of the month, on the 12th, we have from Kodansha to start out the month, or start out the week, Pass the Monster Meat, Milady. It's a gourmet fantasy romance series about Lady Melfiera, who loves monster meat, and the blood-mad duke who falls for her. Melfiera hopes to change her kingdom's negative opinion of monster meat. This one was recommended for fans of Delicious in Dungeon, so if you're a fan of like fantasy gourmet manga like that, then this one might be up your alley. Next up, we've got Magic Knight Rayearth, the new paperback editions. So this is perfect for y'all who did not pick up the Magic Knight Rayearth hardcover box sets. I believe each of these paperback volumes is the exact same as each of the hardcovers in those box sets. They're just smaller paperback editions. And this, of course, is the mech isekai series from Clamp. So if you're a fan of Clamp and you haven't picked this one up, this is gonna be a good one for you to grab. And then we have How I Met My Soulmate. This is a shoujo romance series from the creator of Waiting for Spring that follows a college sophomore, Yuki, who moves to Tokyo to find her soulmate, and she's kind of turned off by her and her friends going out to a club, and she doesn't really find anyone, but she meets someone later who has a very scary demeanor, or a slightly scary demeanor as it says on the description, and but he might not be all that he at first appears to be, and she may or may not have found her soulmate with this person. So interesting look at adult relationships and stuff like that. And we have one from Viz Media's Shonen Jump line, that is Demon Slayer Kimetsu Academy. So as the title suggests, this is reimagining the characters from Demon Slayer, but in an academy, a school setting, So this is a more chibi version, comedic type version of the events of Demon Slayer, the characters of Demon Slayer rather. So if you're a big fan of Demon Slayer, you might want to pick this up as just a little comedic side piece to enjoy. If you are a fan of chibi stuff, then yeah, this is going to be one for you. Next up from Sublime, we have a couple of releases. Pink Heart Jam, this is a BL, it's from Sublime, so of course it's BL, about a high schooler who falls for an upperclassman and decides to join the school's rock band. He's dared to visit a male brothel where he finds that his crush is employed. And then Mad K Volume 3, this is the final volume from the creator of Our Torsos Align and Centaurs, though he's using a pseudonym in this one, so it's under a different name, about a man who summons a demon and sacrifices his life in exchange to be able to eat the demon's guts. I've heard this one's pretty wild, and I do enjoy both Our Torsos Align and I enjoy the first volume of Centaurs, so I'm really tempted to pick this one up because it sounds wild and interesting. I'm sure some people in the watching the video can report back in the comments about reading Mad K and whether they enjoy it or not. Next up, I Married My Female Friend. This is a slice of life GL from the creator of Donuts Under a Crescent Moon, so if you're a fan of that one, definitely check this one out. About two friends who agreed if they were both single in 5 years, they would marry each other, which winds up happening. And at first, they treat marriage as if they're just two very close roommates, but a different kind of relationship might bloom between them. Willing to bet that it will. Then we have some from Seven Seas, The Secret of Friendship, single volume shoujo drama from the creator of My Love Story and High School Debut, about two friends who are polar opposites but share a strong bond. I've heard really good things about this one, so I'm definitely looking to pick it up, especially since it's just a single volume. That sounds really easy to get into. Now we've got some stuff from Yen Press and their imprints. First up is one that is not available on Crunchyroll. A lot of their JY imprint, which is for young, like middle-aged readers, are not on Crunchyroll, so that's really interesting. But this one is Amy's Big Brother. It primarily focuses on the big brother who is a freshman in high school. He's just getting into high school, and he's excited to be able to get some space away from his annoying little sister. So you can imagine kind of what kind of middle-age book this is, perfect for kids who maybe struggle with the same thing, having an older or younger sibling and stuff. And I'll show you all a little bit of the inside. I don't want to get in too much trouble, but it's full color and it has really cute artwork on the inside as well. Then we've got a couple from Eyes Press. First up, I've got Dark Moon, The Blood Altar. This is one of several of these webtoons from Hybe that are in conjunction with K-pop groups. This one is with Enhypen, and it's a vampire series. There's 7 vampire boys at an academy, and there's a new person that starts up at the academy. I read the first chapter or 2 of this one, and it was pretty interesting, decent artwork as well on the inside, kind of what you expect from webtoon. But the really cool one from Eyes Press this month is Omniscient Reader's Viewpoint. This one hooked me immediately. I can't wait to finish the rest of this first volume. If you haven't heard about it, it's one of the most popular ones, but if you haven't heard about it, there's a guy who has been reading a light novel series, and he is the only person reading it. It's gone on for over 3,000 chapters, and the final chapter and the epilogue are coming out soon. And he's literally the only person that reads it. And he comments on every chapter because he kind of feels bad for the creator for not getting any attention on what he thinks is such a wonderful story. But he thinks, at that point, it's just made for him. So he reaches out to the creator, or tries to, and the creator's like, hey, give me your email, I'm gonna give you something special. And basically what happens is all of a sudden when that final chapter comes out, the world changes and the world turns into the world of this light novel. And he's the only person that knows how it ends, so he has to survive and stuff. It's a really brief synopsis of what happens, but it's a very cool concept, and I really enjoyed what I've read of the first volume. Then from Yen Press proper, we get My Poison Princess Is Still Cute. This one has kind of a couple who just recently start being together. Star-crossed lovers is what the description says. So Poison Princess Rafi and the Immortal Knight Lauren. The Poison Princess is, as it says, she's still cute. She's very naive and innocent and stuff. And the Immortal Knight doesn't really know that about her, so it's kind of him discovering all these naiveties that she displays throughout her personality and stuff. So she's kind of more innocent and cuter than he believed that she would be. So a cute little rom-com type series for you. And then Bungo Stray Dogs. This is a prequel series, Dazai Chuya age 15. I've never had any exposure to any Bungo Stray Dogs, but I read the first chapter of this one, and especially the opening scene, super cool. This definitely makes me want to get into Bungo Stray Dogs. I wouldn't count on me getting into it anytime soon because there is a decent amount of material, but if you're a fan of the franchise, this is one that you'll definitely want to pick up. And then one last one from Yen Press. It's coming out. It's not a first volume. The final volume, volume 3 of What This World Is Made Of. It's an action series. I really enjoyed the first volume, so I'm looking forward to wrapping this one up as well. If you like action stuff, if you like Monster Hunter, this is by the creator of one of the Monster Hunter manga. And then before we move into the third week, into the second half of the month, a quick word from the sponsors of this video and of my channel, Walt's Comic Shop. Now, all of these dates, a lot of the stuff that I either get it from shops like InStockTrades.com or the Crunchyroll store, depending on, you know, who carries it and what price is better. Meaning to say that we have options here in the US. We have a lot of these stores that we can go to. We have bookstores, we have comic shops, we have online shops. But elsewhere, people don't have as many options. If you're in the EU though, Walt's Comic Shop is a fantastic option that you can order your books from. They have a wide selection of manga and comics, so if you want to try out some stuff from like Marvel and DC, you can go to them for that. They have great prices on pre-orders and stuff like that, and they have really great reviews as well. You can check them out online. All the reviews are screamingly positive. Quick customer service, quick shipping as well. And if you use code TheOmnibusCollector at checkout on your first order of €40 or more, you can get free shipping within the EU. So check out waltzcomicshop.com, or you can head to their brick and mortar store in Berlin, Germany, and say hello, let them know that the Omnibus Collector sent you. Anyway, moving on to the second half of the month. On the 19th, we've got just a few, well, 4 new releases for me to talk about. First up is the Great Yokai War Guardians from Titan Manga. Titan's really expanding their lines of manga a lot these past few months. This is based on the 2021 movie of the same name that follows a seemingly ordinary student who inherits the power of a legendary monster hunter to defeat yokai that are attacking Tokyo. So if you're a fan of yokai and kaiju and stuff like that, mythological beasts from Japanese myth, mythological from myth, of course. Anyway, if you're a fan of that kind of stuff, definitely check this one out. It looks like a lot of fun. Or if you like the movie, you might want to check out the manga adaptation. And then She's My Knight from Kodansha. This is about a boy who's been popular since he was born, doesn't believe he'll ever meet anyone that could come close to him until he meets Yuki and starts to fall for her. Yuki is, so this seems very much like In the Clear Moonlit Dusk, which is one of my current favorite series and my current favorite shoujo series. In that it's like popular guy falls for, it literally describes her as princely in the description of the official description, because she's got shorter hair, she's a little more masculine in appearance, I guess, which is like the same exact thing with In the Clear Moonlit Dusk. So it sounds like it's going to be really similar to that one, and I guess if you're a fan of In the Clear Moonlit Dusk, this might be one for you to check out. Next up from Seven Seas, we got a couple. Obey Me the Comic. This is based on the otome game of the same name. It's a fantasy comedy about 7 devil boys at the Royal Academy of Diavolo and a human exchange student who has become a little sheep. I know a lot of people who are a fan of the otome game, so this one's definitely going to be for y'all. And then Breakfast with My Two-Tailed Cat. After his wife's death, Soichiro's pet cat Ni turns into a talking nekomata, a two-tailed yokai cat. Together they live a heartwarming, slow life in the countryside. And moving on to the final week, on the 26th, Boxing Day, the day after Christmas, starting off with a big release, Cat-Eyed Boy Perfect Edition Volume 2 hardcover from Viz in their signature line. This is the second and final volume of Kazuo Umez's classic yokai horror series following the Cat-Eyed Boy. This was out of print for a very long time from the previous paperback editions. They brought it back into print earlier this year. Very excited to be able to add this into the collection. If you're a fan of horror manga, definitely pick this up. If you've never read anything by Kazuo Umez, but you're a fan of like Junji Ito, you'll definitely enjoy Umez. Next up, this one I really doubt is coming out. This is from Denpa, Renjo Desperado. This one has been delayed a lot, and because they haven't been talking about getting like office copies yet, I don't think it's going to actually come out this month. But this follows Monko, who is searching for the love of her life in a Wild West-inspired Japan with a sword in one hand and a six-shooter in the other, and she must avoid all kinds of threats, both monster and human, including a band of Yakuza desperados. It sounds like a ton of fun. I cannot wait to actually read this one. However, again, I think it's going to come out sometime maybe January or February or something, hopefully not too much longer because it has been delayed quite a bit, but I really doubt that it's coming out at the end of this month. Next up from Tokyo Pop, we have Mitsuka. This is an 18+ BL about a nightclub host who has his first encounter with a man and decides to engage into a friends with benefits relationship, though he might be falling in love with said friend. Then Poetry of Ran from Titan Manga. This one is about a bard named True who's struggling to make a name for herself and begins to travel with a monster hunter named Ran so that she can gain inspiration for her poetry from his exploits. This one looks like a lot of fun. I'm definitely going to be checking that one out. And we wrap up the month on My Ultramarine Sky from Kodansha. This is from the creator of My Summer of You. It's a BL that follows two friends who, after being separated at a new school, realize they may have feelings for each other that are more than just friendship. So that's it for December. Not as many new series coming out as previous months, but still a lot of really cool stuff. Just running through things that I am definitely picking up. The Lovecraft Shadow over Innsmouth, Fairy Tale Omnibus, Les Miserables. I am on the fence about My Dog is a Death God because I think that's going to ruin me emotionally. Pass the Monster Meet Milady sounds fun. I might try that one out just because I am a fan of Delicious in Dungeon and stuff like that. Like I mentioned, I'm debating picking up all 3 volumes of Mad K. I have those Yen Press ones, and I do recommend Omniscient Reader's Viewpoint, especially from those. Great Yokai War, definitely. And then Cat-Eyed Boy, Renjo Desperado, if it comes out, whenever it comes out, and Poetry of Ran definitely are the ones that I'm going to be trying out. And I might pick up some of these other ones if I can, if I have time to do so. But let me know in the comments, which of these are you looking forward to picking up? Which of these did you not know about that I was able to help turn you on to? And what other books are you excited about that are coming out throughout this month that I didn't mention in this video? You know, volume 2 onward of series that, you know, that I don't talk about in these videos. Let me know, because there's a lot of I'm picking up a lot in December. There's, I think, like about 75 new volumes that were scheduled to come out that I'm going to be picking up personally. So yeah, there is a lot coming out. It's just not as many that I talked about in this video. So yeah, let me know in the comments down below. I'm always interested in hearing from you. If you're new to the channel, thank you so much for tuning in. I hope this video was helpful, and you can find a lot more helpful videos like this on my channel. Just press that subscribe button. If you would, press the bell so you're notified for when they come out. And if you're not new to the channel, thanks for tuning in again. Y'all know how much it means to me for y'all to tune in and spend time with me each week or so when I put videos out. Thank you again to everyone watching this video, and I'll see you all in the next one. Peace out.